Well, good morning, everyone. This is Jim Marshak, and I'm going to share my desktop to show you a number of things. Show you the website that we're going to. This is the My Water Quality website of the California Water Quality Monitoring Council. This provides primary access to a number of portals that provide public information on California's water quality and aquatic resources. And the web address is there for you, www.cawaterquality.net. So let's go there. And this is what this looks like. You can get from a number of places. You have the web address, so you can type it in yourself, but also a number of state agencies have put an icon on their websites that allow you to get there with a single click. So the home page of the State Water Resources Control Board, and you see that on the left-hand side there's a My Water Quality link. That will take you there. A little further down the page in the carousel there's a My Water Quality button. That will also take you there. Going to the California Environmental Protection Agency's homepage, again, you'll see the My Water Quality button in the carousel at the bottom of the page. Similarly, at the California Natural Resources Agency website, scrolling down to see the carousel, there again is the My Water Quality button. You'll see this button on a number of state websites and elsewhere on the Internet, and that provides very easy access to the My Water Quality website. Okay, so today's demonstration is of a brand new web portal on the health of California's river and stream ecosystems. We have a number of other portals that are live. As you can see here, they're all based on a number of high-level questions about California's aquatic resources. Is our water safe to drink? Is it safe to swim in our waters? Is it safe to eat fin shellfish from our waters? And are aquatic ecosystems healthy? We do have the Safe to Swim web portal up. That was the very first one, launched about 3 years ago, and I invite you to go look at that at your leisure. We also have a portal up on the safety of eating fin shellfish from our waters, looking at pollutants that can accumulate in fish tissue and present risks to human health. And then under our aquatic ecosystems healthy, the first of these portals that was launched was one on California's wetland resources. So from that portal you can see where wetlands are, where they used to be. We lost a number of wetlands in California due to various development activities. Also you can look to see where wetlands are being restored and the health of our wetlands as measured by the California Rapid Assessment Method. The new portal that was launched on the 18th of June was Healthy Streams portal. So on stream, rivers, and lake resources brings us to the Healthy Streams portal. And this portal is a little different than the others in that we tried to put more information, general public education about what makes a stream healthy. So we have a large watercolor painting that one of our graphic artists put together for us, and there are a number of items in that painting that highlight the characteristics and the attributes of streams and rivers and what would make it healthy. Use the names of those different attributes at the top of the page, and if you scroll over one of those particular attributes, like algae, it highlights in the graphic, so you can see what that pertains to. Similarly, if I hover over the algae in the graphic, then its name comes up on top, also highlighted. Provides access to these attributes. Let's look at, for example, how agriculture might affect our water quality. So I actually click on that attribute. It takes me to a page that describes why is that particular attribute important. In this case, we're looking at a number of land uses that can occur around our rivers and streams, and how those affect the quality of those rivers and streams. So urban, nearby agriculture, other land uses, and then at the bottom, how do we measure the influence of land use on our stream health? So it gives you a link there, takes you to a page that discusses stream health in terms of certain organisms that live at in the bottom of our streams and rivers, called benthic macroinvertebrates. These are insect larvae. They can be other kinds of, for example, mollusks or worms that live in these streams. Some are very resistant to pollution. Some are very tolerant to pollution. So determining which ones are there, we can see how healthy the stream is. So this map shows where we have measured the benthic macroinvertebrate health in our streams around California and rates those as in either good, degraded, or very degraded conditions. And then further down the page, we've actually looked at surrounding land use upstream of those locations where we've measured to see how does land use affect stream health based on the health of these benthic macroinvertebrates. And notice for areas that have forests upstream, there's a lot of good quality stream health there. Same thing for other land uses. But when we look at agriculture and urban land use upstream of our monitoring locations, very few of those areas have good stream health. So a significant player in health of our streams is land use, particularly agricultural and urban land use upstream. So from these activities contains pollutants can affect stream health, and that's all discussed here on this particular page. Back to the home page. I'd gone over algae before, so we click on algae. It gives us some information about why is algae important and how we measure algae. Stream page, healthy stream home page. If we look a little further down on the right-hand side of the page, you can see there's a link to a fact sheet. That two-page fact sheet that tells you about this particular portal and gives more information and places you can get more info. Excuse me in here, I shouldn't have clicked that. Get back really quick by clicking on the My Water Quality button and Eco Health and Rivers. Okay, we're back. A number of questions here on the right-hand side that relate to our stream and river ecosystems. First of all, what's the extent of our stream and river resources in California? Second, what are the conditions of our streams and rivers? And third, what's being done to make our waters healthier? Look at these one at a time. All the extent of our streams and rivers. So when I click on that, I go to a new page on this portal, and up comes a map that I invite you to explore to see where streams and rivers are. We have a lot of them in many parts of the state, and we can zoom in and look at them in more detail using this particular map. Streams flow all year round, and those are called perennial streams. And you can see there are some statistics on the right-hand side about how many miles or kilometers of perennial streams we have in California. Other streams flow only during certain portions of the year or only after larger storm events. Those are non-perennial streams. And you can see we have a lot of those in California, particularly our predominantly Mediterranean climate. Many streams do not flow all year round, and those are non-perennial streams. At the map, you can see there's a selector. We can select type of region in the state. Let's look at hydrologic regions. This divides the state up into major drainages. And the selector comes up, and I can select one of those hydrologic regions. Let's look, for example, at the Central Valley. The valley highlights on the map, and also on the right-hand side come up different characteristics of our stream and river resources in the Central Valley region. So there are the number of miles of perennial and non-perennial streams. Further down, information about different characteristics that affect streams. First of all, climate, which is a major factor. Tectonic setting. This has to do with earthquakes and the movement of our major earth plates. Also, geology is very important in determining stream health, and supply. Sediment is very important for replenishing our beaches. Also, sediment can be a problem. Too much sediment coming down a stream can affect the health of our fish, their ability to spawn, a number of things. So sediment is very important. It can also be a transporter of pollutants. Characteristics are explained for this hydrologic region, and then also access to information about our major rivers. I can get a particular river like the American River, and here comes some statistics from the Department of Water Resources California Data Exchange Center about the American River. Okay, so I'm going to go back then to the page of our portal and then back to the home for healthy streams. Let's look at the second question. In this case, the condition of our streams and rivers. We looked a little bit at how benthic macroinvertebrates, the bugs that live at the base of our streams and rivers, how those can be measured to see if a stream is healthy or not. We also can look at all of the data that we have on this particular aspect of stream health in an interactive map. You can see we've categorized streams as either in good health, degraded, or very degraded, again based on the particular benthic macroinvertebrates that live in those particular areas where we've monitored in our streams. And then there's some statewide statistics in a pie chart on the lower right. So roughly half of our streams appear to be in good condition based on the sampling of benthic macroinvertebrates. And 27% are in degraded condition and 23% in very degraded condition. Going to our condition page, there is another area that we have displayed data that can tell us about stream health, and that is water toxicity and sediment toxicity. To measure toxicity of water or sediment, a sample is taken from the stream into the laboratory, and we expose certain organisms to water or that sediment. For example, we could use water fleas, or other, we could use small fish. A number of different organisms can be used to see whether that water sample, when we expose the organisms to that water, is there some harmful effect on those critters? For example, do they stop growing like they should, or are they unable to reproduce? Might they even die because there's something in the water that's a problem? So water toxicity is a really good integrator of potential effects of various constituents in the water or the sediment that might affect the health of streams. So if I click on the water toxicity link, it brings me to another page where we have measured water toxicity around the state. And you can zoom into a particular location. Our zoom tool lets zoom into the Bay Area, for example. And you can see that we have a number of non-toxic sites, which is wonderful. There's some toxicity at several of our sites, moderate toxicity at some, and high toxicity at others. And then on the right-hand side, we have, again, some statewide statistics in a pie chart that roughly 64% of our streams and rivers in California are categorized as non-toxic based sampling of water toxicity. And there are others where some toxicity is present, moderate toxicity, or high toxicity. If I were to click on a particular dot on this map, I get information about the toxicity samples that were done. Which species was used in the toxicity sample? What was the endpoint? Was it survival of that organism? Was it growth? Was it cell count? Was it ability to reproduce? Those kinds of things. And then what the result was, and then what was classified based on those results. Was it toxic? Was it not toxic? And various samples were integrated to give you the overall score for this particular site. In the case, either non-toxic, some toxicity, moderate, or high toxicity. Going to our condition page, the type of toxicity we've looked at in California, all around the state, is whether sediments at the bottoms of our streams and rivers present some toxic effect to organisms. Very similar map here. Again, there are symbols on the map that show you where we have non-toxic conditions, some toxicity, moderate, or toxicity, in this case, of sediment samples, and then some statewide statistics in a pie chart. Fairly similar results to our water toxicity. And you can zoom into a particular area. I could zoom to the LA area with our zoom tool and say I wanted to look at a particular location here at Thousand Oaks and me the actual result of the toxicity tests on sediment samples that were taken at that location. In this case, there were 2 samples taken, and both of those showed only 3% survival and 0% survival. So there obviously were toxicity problems. That results in a high toxicity reading for that particular site. Let's go back to the Healthy Stream home page. So we've looked at the extent of our streams and rivers. We've looked at the condition of our streams and rivers. What's being done to make our waters healthier? Third question. If I click that question, I come to a page that gives a lot of different information about what's being done to make our waters healthier. First of all, what's being done to protect habitats in our streams, rivers, and lakes? There are a number of different programs, both state and federal, that aim to protect habitats. Those are laid out here. Notice that these are all labeled as to which organizations are involved, and links to get more detailed information on each of these programs. System restoration is highlighted here. Grant for restoring fisheries, protection wildlife from stream or lake alteration. There's a permitting process conducted by the Department of Fish and Game. Manage our stormwaters, repaired surface waters, policies to develop wetland and riparian area protection policies, and other ways we look at restoring and preserving our habitats. Then we also have a whole section on what's being done to reduce the impact from discharges of waste into our waters. So various permitting programs of the water boards, US EPA, and others, protect from other waste discharges, protections that are afforded by the Department of Pesticide Regulation on pesticides that are used on our agricultural lands, also that we might use pesticides around our homes or businesses, and other programs for managing polluted runoff. At the bottom, something that is very key to our Master of Ceremonies, Eric Burris' work, and that is the Clean Water Team. He's manager of California's Clean Water Team, which is an effort to get citizens involved in assessing the health of streams, rivers, and lakes in their backyards. And you can get involved. Here's information right here that will help you find a citizen monitoring program near you. There's a map interface that shows which ones are at various places around the state. There are training videos and educational information about monitoring streams and rivers and lakes and how you can get involved in that. Finally, there is an iPhone application that you can download that you can use to help monitor health in your area. It's called Creek Watch. With the app, you can take a picture of a stream that you happen to come up, and then also fill in some information about what's flowing at a high level or just a trickle, and then was there trash in the stream, and then you can get the information back into the database where it's available to our various regulatory agencies and researchers that find that information very useful in assessing the health of our creeks. So you've got to need to look at the Creek Watch database, or you can download the Creek Watch app with links here. That is the third area of our Healthy Streams portal. How do we what's being done to make our streams and rivers healthier? Okay, well, pretty much an overview of our Healthy Streams portal. At this time, I'll ask Eric to unmute the phone so we can perhaps answer a few of your questions.
If you have a question, you can send it via chat, or you can unmute your phone, *6, and join the question directly.
So let's roll, Eric.
Okay. Thank you, John.
I had trouble actually calling in.
Yeah. So
how many people do we have calling in so far?
We have, let's see here.
Well, that limits, so everybody should be able to get in using the main number.
Yeah.
Oh, good, able to get in. Okay.
That's great, Amanda. So, she expanded on us. People joined us. How to use this? What would you like to see added to the portal? What's from you?
Have you folks yet, Eric?
People can mute themselves. I'm going to warn everybody. I'm going to unmute everybody. So if there's any noise in the background, be sure to keep your phone muted by hitting *6. Okay. Everybody at this point, John, except for those two, keep your phone quiet.
So, question out there. When will the data be updated? That's a very good question. One thing we're trying to do with these My Water Quality portals is to automate the data feeds. So as new data are collected and verified, those data will be immediately available on our portals. And at present for the Healthy Streams portal, both the sediment toxicity and water column toxicity data are being fed directly from our database called Sediment, the California Environmental Data Exchange Network. So whenever new data have been collected and verified as to being accurate and made available in Sediment, immediately will be available on those web maps of the Healthy Streams portal. We eventually hope to have the information on benthic macroinvertebrates also fed that way. So, and a number of our other portals also display data on a regular basis. When new data become available, they're added. We're in the process of developing a number of relationships with organizations around the state to get access to their data, and once we have access and verified the quality of the data as being comparable to the other data that we're using, then those data will also be made available through My Water Quality portals. Each My Water Quality portal is managed by a work group of issue experts for that particular theme. So the work group for the Healthy Streams portal is the Healthy Streams Partnership. And if you go to the Monitoring Council website, again, www.cawaterquality.net, on the left-hand side is a link to information about the Monitoring Council and the various theme-specific work groups if you'd like to get involved yourself. Okay, there's another question we have is information from the app available on the portal. It would be, there are two links if you go to the bottom of the What's Being Done to Make Our Water Healthier of the portal. You see under Creek Watch there is a link to go look at the data, and there's also a link to download the app for your own use. What other questions do we have?
John, send in via chat.
Oh.
When will estuary ocean portals available?
Question. We've got a work group, the California Estuary Monitoring Work Group, that is being headed by two different organizations, the State and Federal Contractors Water Agency and the Bay Institute. Together they are sharing this work group effort to look at the health of California's estuaries. Their initial portal is going to focus on California's and the West Coast's largest estuary, the San Francisco Bay Delta. And they're in the process of developing that portal now. They're going to be looking at the various biological resources in the Bay Delta and looking to see how those biological resources tell us the health of the Bay and the Delta, and what factors there might be that affect the health of those biological resources, whether it be birds that are migrating through, fish that live in those waters, or various critters that the fish and birds are eating. So I hope that by a year from now, we have that portal up. It might actually be sooner. It all depends on how rapidly that work group can get access to the data sets that they need and then put them into a portal format and get it approved by the California Water Quality Monitoring Council for release to the public. So within the year, I'm pretty sure we'll have that one up. Where does the Creek Watch app data go? Eric, do you want to handle that question?
Yeah, correct. Data is being sent to a server being maintained through a collaboration between EM and Carnegie Mellon. It's not housed at the state. We can retrieve data from the database. It's a global application, so anybody can download the app and use it anywhere they go. So it's not restricted to California. It was developed here, but we have some that are using it solely for citizen monitoring, some as a partnership between citizen monitoring and local agency. So the data is held off-site, and it's accessible to anybody in the world.
Another here, is it only bioassessment data or are chemistry data results included? We initially portrayed stream and river health using bioassessment data with macroinvertebrates and toxicity data from water and sediment toxicity samples that have been taken from our streams and rivers around California. We plan to add a number of other indicators of stream health, including chemistry. What are the concentrations of various pollutants that exist in our waters? What are the water temperatures? How much sediment is suspended in our waters? Those various indicators of stream health we plan to add to the portal in the future. We also plan to add more different types of bioassessment data. There is work going on to develop and enhance our ability to determine stream health through the various forms of algae that might be present in our water. So those kinds of bioassessment data we also plan to add to the portal in the future. So keep back to the portal periodically. We keep adding new kinds of data and information as those can be made available electronically in this kind of a format.
Two additional questions in via chat.
Okay.
I'll answer the first one. Is there a plan to create a Creek app for Android phones? The answer is yes. It's in beta right now. So when it's available, an email will be sent out to the listserv for the Clean Team, Citizen Monitoring, and also for the California Water Quality Monitoring Collaboration Network. An announcement will be made to both of those. The other question, John, is who can sponsor to support this work?
The sponsor so far has been the Surface Water Ambient Monitoring Program of the state of California. The Surface Water Ambient Monitoring Program, the acronym is SWAMP, is an effort that was initiated by the water boards, the California Environmental Protection Agency, and also has a number of other players from other agencies and organizations, such as the State Department of Fish and Game, the Department of Water Resources, U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, the Office of Environmental Health Hazard Assessment, and others. And we're working actually to expand the Healthy Streams Partnership that's responsible for this portal to include additional agencies as well. So a work in progress. We can always use more partners. I wonder if the question also had to do with funding. For this work has come really from two areas. First of all, when someone has a permit to discharge waste that might affect water quality in California, they're required to do monitoring, and there is a fee associated with the permit and a monitoring surcharge on that fee. Part of the monitoring surcharge goes to our ambient monitoring program of the Surface Water Ambient Monitoring Program in California. So many of the samples that are taken are funded by that surcharge on permitted discharges. Also, we get money from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency through Clean Water Act funding. Those are the sources so far. Looking for other sources as well.
Thank you, John. Plenty of time for additional questions. You can send your question via chat, or you can ask them directly. Your phone's unmuted, or if you'd like to unmute your phone, just hit *6.
Well, no other questions. I'd like to say please do check out our My Water Quality portals. Again, the web address is www.cawaterquality.net. And look at the various portals that are available through that website and see what is of interest to you. And there is a Contact Us tab at the top of every page where you can provide us with your input. What would you like to see in these portals in the future? What issues might you have with what we portray? Is it a way that is understandable? Question here, what is the further plan to do? We have actually a couple of more portals that are in the works. I already mentioned the estuary portal that is in development. We also have a group of people working on a portal on drinking water safety. The State Department of Public Health is lead on that. They're the agency that regulates the quality of water come out of your tap in your home or your business if that water is provided by a regulated water purveyor. So they're the lead of a new Safe to Drink work group that's being formed, and we have acquired funding to produce a portal together that will tell the entire story about how water gets to your tap. Where does it come from? What is the quality of that water in the source? How does it get to you as a customer? And how do we make sure it's of a quality that ensures you will stay healthy? So all that information will be in a new Safe to Drink portal that we hopefully will have up on the website within the year. In addition, we have a work group that has just beginning to meet now on a fairly regular basis, looking at the health of our ocean resources. And they will be developing a portal, most likely initially focusing on the Central Coast ocean waters and coastal waters, and how factors like discharge of waste from land, runoff from agriculture and urban sources, how does that affect coastal waters, and how does that affect the critters that live there? So we also intend to be adding new features to the existing portals that we do have as more information can be made available. So we're looking for ways of bringing data sets together and presenting those data to you in a meaningful way.
John, how do people get involved with you? So
they get involved a number of ways. As I mentioned, every page of the My Water Quality portals had a Contact Us tab at the top. And feel free to click on that. There's a way to get information about the different work groups that are working on these portals and how to get involved with those work groups. There's also information there about the California Water Quality Monitoring Council and how you can get involved with the organization. You can call into the meetings and listen in. You can also come to the meetings. They are open to the public. And in addition, there's a way of commenting on the individual portals and the page of the portals. You can tell whether the information is understandable, or have ideas for improvement, or you'd like to see new things. Those are a number of ways that you can get involved. And then, of course, as we mentioned earlier, citizen monitoring is a really good way of getting involved in the quality of water in your backyard. A number of different groups are monitoring water quality all over the state, and the What's Being Done to Make Our Water Healthier page at the bottom provides access to all kinds of citizen monitoring information, as well as the Water Quality Monitoring Collaboration Network web page that you see on the screen there.